First, is there any public participation? Hearing none. Anthony, the first thing, we have a couple things for the Greenwood roof. The first thing is let's approve the minutes of February 18th, 2021.
I move that we approve the minutes of February 18th, 2021, as written.
Second that.
Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, is there anybody who objects to the minutes of February 18th? Hearing none, it's unanimous. Next is a invoice for PMA Consultants for the amount of $1,375.
I move that we approve PMA for $1,375, invoice number 04372-16.
Second.
Second, thank you, John. Any discussion? Hearing none. Chip?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Janine?
Yes.
All right, the next is an invoice for Gale Associates.
That we approve Gale Associates for the sum of $1,548.20, invoice number 2102225.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Chip?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Janine?
Yes.
Unanimous. Anthony?
Don't we
What's
have
going on, everyone?
peer consultants included in that 154820?
Yeah, it was part of it.
Okay, all right.
The peer consultants, I think, was part of that.
Yeah,
You did another one for.
Is that right, Anthony?
yeah, it's their base scope. It's their portion of the review, the closeout documentation for the hazmat.
So it went
Okay.
into the Gale, so we don't have an extra.
It's in that 1548 number. Yep, you're good.
Okay,
I thought, okay.
You're good.
all right, Anthony, let's give an update on the roof.
Sure thing. So again, budget wise, I'll run through the numbers real quick. Not much has changed, but obviously we approved the 1.675 at town meeting last summer. The actual budget more so came in at 1.2 million, and we spent about 1.12 million of that. So there's about 75 grand left technically to bill. Now it all won't be billed because a lot of it is underrun from PMA and some other small items, but essentially that's where we're at. High level budget looks great. We're in perfect shape there. Construction wise, luckily
Anthony, hold on. Were you able to share the screen?
I tried. It said it was disabled.
Oh,
Oh, I'm the
You're
host.
the host.
I'm sorry. I can make you, well,
Awesome.
where are you here? Sorry about that, Anthony.
No problem.
You know?
I already forgot everything he said. I'm visual. I want to see it.
All right. Well, I mean, if you can't figure it out on your own, oh, sorry.
All
All
right.
right. That should do it, Anthony. Hopefully, I don't know.
Okay, let's see if this works. Everyone can see this right here?
There you
Yep.
go.
Okay, so this again was just talking on the budget. So I don't want to run through it again like I just did, but essentially again, you got your 1.2, you got your bill to date at 1.12, you got your 75 grand left to bill, but again, this underrun from PMA is not going to get billed out fully. The Greenwood portion will, the Gale portion probably will, and the testing and inspections, the advertising won't. So you're going to have money left over even within the 1.2 on top of the 400 grand or so of savings that we had from the bidding.
How much do you think PMA has left to bill?
Left to bill, it'll depend on how quickly I put together the closeout documentation with the MSBA.
MSBA list, yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
You can pop that one up too, Anthony, the procedures for closeout.
Yep, so that
Yeah.
is on one of
You
these.
get an idea of the steps and you see what our burn rate is per month in the
Yeah.
slow months, and it won't be much more than that.
Yeah, so this is the MSBA modulate closeout process. So essentially, once you have your final invoices in, you put in your final pro-pay request, and then you have to get all this documentation ready for audit, which is all of this checklist right here that I have to compile.
Yeah. The good news is now that we've done we have three small items that we have to take care of on the roof with Greenwood next week. We can start anytime on this list of items from MSBA. So we'll get cracking on some of the easy stuff right away.
Yep. So, I don't know the hard number, Phil, but, you know, as always, be honest with my hours, however long it takes me, that's what I'll bill, but we have plenty of money for it. We're not gonna have any issues.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Construction wise, luckily with the recent good weather last week, we actually got that infrared scan in on the roof from the commissioning agent. So that happened last Wednesday with Building Enclosure Associates, who is actually assigned through the MSBA. They're not even contracted through the town. But
So-
Russell,
so- Nothing on that?
say that again?
We owe them nothing, or do they contract through the MSBA and we pay them?
Nope, it's in the MSBA. MSBA pays them. It's all set.
The MSBA I think every other year puts out a RFP for commissioning agents. They
Yeah.
assign a commissioning agent to full build projects, ARPs, renos. You're assigned a commissioning agent and they pay them direct. We have to manage them, PMA. The good thing for us is that we know BEA well and we hire them as part of our team on jobs to supplement that. And we think they're one of the best
Yeah.
envelope and roof people out there.
They're fantastic. So he called me right after, and then we got this report on, I believe, Monday or Tuesday morning, but there was 3 minor areas that show thermal anomalies. Now, it doesn't mean that there's moisture in that area. It's just something that the scan picked up. I've seen it before where it picks it up, they open it up, it's perfectly dry, no issue. So there was 3 small areas, one area in particular, the walkway by the roof hatch, and then 2 small areas on that divider curb by the roof hatch that showed these anomalies. So 3 small areas. So the next step for those areas, Greenwood Industries is going to be out next Wednesday, and I already coordinated this with the commission agent and the school. So they're going to be out there next Wednesday to essentially open up these areas, see if there is any wet moistures or what's causing the anomaly, address it, photo document it. PMA is going to be there and the CX agent is going to be there. And once all the fixes are done, they document it that way, and that's it. And then the
Does it have,
scanning.
does it have to be scanned again?
So we asked this question to the commissioning agent. He said, to be honest, doesn't really speak to it in their contract with the MSBA if it has to be scanned again. He said in his experience, if it's a full scale thermal, anomalies everywhere, the MSBA will step in and say, no, you have to scan it again after they address all the issues. He said with this roof, it looked really great in just these small areas that he wouldn't recommend it to be scanned again, as long as the commission agent and PMA are there to witness the fixes.
So they're gonna cut through the PVC, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be patching,
Does
unfortunately.
it have to be added, something added into the warranty as far as noting that the roofing has been cut through?
We can follow up with Sarnafel on that, who's the manufacturer, but I don't think it'll be an issue. Essentially, it's going to be documentation that here was the issue, here's the fix, here's all the pictures, but something we can certainly have them follow up with
Yeah.
Sarnafel that the warranty is fine.
When Sarnafil did the roof walk, Wayne, if they had saw excessive patching all over the roof, they wouldn't have warranted it. There is a number, a percentage. We don't even
Yeah.
come close to it.
No,
So the contract is responsible for 12 months, and then beyond that, it goes into to Sonnefield?
Yes.
Yep.
Manufacturer's warranty.
and that's 30 years, I believe.
All right, okay, thank you.
No problem.
And when does the contractors start? After these patches are done?
Probably more so a year from substantial completion. It would be in the contract language and the specification, but it's probably the substantial completion date.
Yeah, I hate that it's after substantial completion
Pretty cool.
because that lost 6 months,
Yeah,
problems with it. Just FYI.
yeah. I can check on the
And then-
contract
and I-
language.
Bigger project, I certainly wouldn't have it be under substantial completion. I would have it be under acceptance of warranty and
Yeah.
commission.
In commission agents can. I can check the contract language. I just don't know off the top of my head. But typically speaking, it is when substantial.
We
completion.
didn't, Anthony, I know we didn't address it.
Yeah.
Certainly in a bigger scale, like a high school maybe, we would talk about it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I
So,
believe we did that at the Galvin, Chip.
Correct. Got like
Yeah.
4 years of warranty because of that.
yeah, the
Anthony.
nice,
I'm pretty sure, Anthony, that any cut that they make, we can get the warranty extended
Yeah.
on that.
yeah, it won't be an
That
issue.
shouldn't be a problem at all.
And even on a big building too, where it's not just the roof is essentially complete well before the building is substantially complete. So by the time that the building's substantially complete, that's when the roof was responsible, Chip. So it kind of builds in that kind of backup anyways, just the nature of the beast of the schedule.
Yep,
It
yep.
was a little different with this just being the roof.
I have a question. The infrared scan photo, that yellow break,
Yep.
that's not the hatch, correct? Like
No,
what is that? And is
That's
that
just
roof?
a,
Yeah.
it's a divider curb. It's just a
And what's
curb
it
on the
made out
roof.
of? Is that roofed over? Does that have the membrane over it too?
It has the membrane over it. I believe it's just 2x4s, just wood.
You can take, Anthony, I think, distributed the report, and there's infrared scans of the whole roof. That-
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just-
it's a
I-
grainy
we just
black and
pop one
white.
on
It's
there as
a
an example.
horrible copy, whatever the scan is. By the time it got to us, it's pretty rough.
Was it
So
bad?
thi-
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Phil, I can send it to everyone individually too if I need to, the original, but this is what you'll see. This is an example, and this is actually one of the anomalies, if you guys can still see this on the screen share.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is an area that the commission agent, one of the three that he actually highlighted as potential water infiltration. So they're gonna go in and cut this strip out, see, they'll cut it to the deck, see if there's any water sitting on the deck. If there's no waters, they're gonna put in new insulation, put in new membrane, flash it, and that'll be with the CX agent and myself there. But they have to cut to the deck to make sure there's no water pooling under it and all that.
They're
And
gonna
if it-
check that curb. Are they gonna pull it off that curb too?
Yeah, they'll have to cut to the curb, so then you
Yeah.
can see the curb.
Yeah, because I've had a walkway pad show up and it was just because one of the corners wasn't fully adhered and water
Yeah.
was like just sitting under the pad
That's
and
the-
the
So
infrared
that's-
got it.
You'll notice, if you read the report, two of the areas are actually under walkway pads, so they don't know if it's between the walkway pad and the membrane or
Yeah.
under the membrane.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Good.
So I'll send everyone a status update probably Thursday morning on how the test cuts went and the repairs. But then at that point, it really kind of kicks into gear the MSBA closeout process, which is all this stuff here, all this closeout documentation checklist, I'll start putting together. And then you can kind of take a look at this schedule at the bottom here, the target board date, but essentially when you have to get your checklist in to the MSBA wise. So we are not going to hit June, but I think August is probably the one we're going to target. So I have to get all that documentation into the MSBA a little under 2 months from now, which shouldn't be an issue, but you never know.
And Anthony, when are you gonna release retainage? When are you thinking release retainage?
Once the scan is once the repairs are accepted from the CX agent, there's no more reason to hold the retainage.
Okay, so you're gonna need a vote from us to release that.
Make
Yeah,
payment
so-
as well, yes.
Assuming that the test cuts go well, the repairs go well, the commission agent signs off and that's all fine. At the next meeting after that is when we'll release the retainage in this meeting.
Perfect.
You're holding
It-
full retainage just for this, or are you just valuing this and holding that?
We came up with a fair value. I think it's $7,500 right now is being held.
Okay.
Anthony, what's the size of the anomaly spaces? Like the one that's highlighted here, is that like 2 feet? Is that 8 feet? Is that spelled out there?
You know what? I have the report up, so let's see. I don't think it's spelled out though.
Small, it says small.
Yeah, just says small.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right here. The scan indicated 3 locations of thermal anomalies, which may indicate potential moisture contamination or another thermal anomaly, and this is where they were observed. But speaking with him on the phone, they weren't big areas. He said it looked pretty good overall. And then, actually, you say you got a black and white grainy area. Well, this
Yeah.
is
Oh,
what,
there we go. Nice.
see?
Oh, yeah.
So, and I'll send this out to everyone. That way they have the color version, but this is what they go up and look at. And I believe here's one of the other anomalies right there under a walkway pad.
Hmm.
And here's the other one under a walkway pad. Now, again, they don't know if it's between the walkway pad and the membrane or under the membrane itself, but that's the other 2 areas that we didn't see previously.
Sure. Thanks.
So,
Looks good. Pretty
All right.
good.
Any
almost
other
done.
questions?
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Anthony.
Thank you. All right,
Thanks.
we're gonna hop off. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.
All righty, take care.
Gonna stop share and exit out. Have a good night.
All right, the next on the agenda is the high school OPM results of the scoring by the members of the Permanent Building Committee. Should I have a drum roll here for you, Chip, or what do you want?
Yeah, let me give a quick review. So we have currently, when we lost one member, so we have 10 potential voting members. Now we got 9 of our members scoring it. So thank you all for doing that. I know it was a little bit quick turnaround, but I think it actually was a very consistent vote for most part. And we had out of the 10, so that means there was a possible of 900 possible scores, and the scores ranged from 655 to 805. So at 655 was NB5. At 665 was ACOM. At 728 was Compass. At 730 was Colliers. At 729 was CBRE. And then we got to the top 5. Skanska was at 7. The 6th was Colliers at 730. The 5th was Skanska at 753. The 4th was Hill at 754. The 3rd was Dorr and Whittier at 774. The 2nd was PMA at 776. And Left Field was at 805. So for the top 5, the averages were Left Field 89.4, PMA 86.2, Dorr and Whittier 86, Hill 83.8, and Skanska 83.7. Some of you may or may not be aware. I'm trying to remember the timing of when everybody came on board, but Dorr and Whittier did, on the architectural side of their company, the feasibility study for the high school that helped us get to the MSBA in the first place. They also have a OPM side, and it's the OPM side that did put in for this. It does not mean that they're not interested in still going forward with the design stage of it. They're just kind of hedging their bets. So it is my recommendation, Mr. Chairman, and I make a motion that we invite Left Field, PMA, Dorr and Whittier, and Hill to interview the top 4.
Any discussion? No one? How about a second for that motion?
Somebody has to say
I didn't have
something.
to read 10 proposals.
I'll
Can
second
we
that.
discuss that? No.
That you had to read 10 proposals?
Yeah, and I don't have a vote.
Uh,
Did you count the non-votings?
I
No, you
did.
said no, right?
oh,
No,
yeah.
We
You
did.
were all counted in as part of the
Oh,
number.
good, okay. That
Oh,
makes sense.
everyone was counted that submitted.
better now, Phil.
Absolutely.
Okay, I feel better. Yeah, I do, Janine, thanks.
No, Phil, that you're part of the 9. There are
Okay.
10 that have been scored, 9 scored. You're part of that 9. As is Wayne, and who else is on? And
Mark.
Mark.
We don't
So
get a
at-
vote. We don't get a vote, right?
Oh, no, you were
Not for
part,
the formal
were-
vote, no.
or you're part of, you don't get a vote to say yes, but you are part of the review committee. You're part of the review committee to get,
I did enjoy the tour of the high school. I haven't been through there in years, thanks to Bob Shirley.
Good.
Quite impressive. All right, go ahead.
Is there any other suggestion regarding the number of interviews? And I also need a second for Mr. Tarbell's motion.
Can you list those again?
Left Field. I move that we approve Joe to invite 4 left field at 89.4%, PMA at 86.2%, Door and Whittier at 86, and Hill at 83.8. And I would also say that if for some reason that Door and Whittier stepped out or decided to step out, that we would then move forward with 3, not add another. So that, because it's just,
Can we add another? Can we add Skanska? I find them highly qualified. No?
if you want to listen to
It's
5
up to the
people,
members.
you can, we can amend the motion if people want to.
I know I'm not a voting member, but I agree with Wayne. I thought Skanska was better than some of the top 4 that were voted, but that's just my 2 cents. I know I'm not a voting member though, but just thought I'd throw it out there.
Opinions are worthwhile.
Thank you.
All right, first off, I need a second for Chip's original motion to do the 4.
I could second.
Thank you, Janine. All right, any, now further
Now-
discussion?
Now I make a motion to amend that motion to include Skanska and have you invite 5. Because there seems to be some sentiment towards that.
I'll
I
second that.
second that.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Thank
So
you.
now, Joe, we will vote on the amendment
Correct,
to make 5,
correct.
then we'll vote on the original.
Now, if perchance, the Door and Whittier cannot be the designer and the OPM. I just think we ought to explain that. And if they intend to go forward with the designer process, they cannot be in the OPM. So the fact that Skanska may be invited might just make it 4. It's going to be up to them to decide how they wish to proceed.
Probably wait to see how this goes first.
Oh, they're in no
Well-
matter what.
No, the architect side is far more lucrative to them than the OPM.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah.
What is happening, which is actually, let's just do this and then we can discuss why they went for both, because I think I know. So Joe, a vote on
Yep. Any other
Make-
discussion
5.
on the 5? All right, seeing none. Chip,
Yes,
John,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Janine,
Yes.
and myself. It'll be unanimous. All right, before we do discuss that, I want to, what do people think? Now this, our interviews are March 30th to Tuesday? Are we looking at half an hour or what do people think?
I think
20
20
minutes is 100 minutes. That's 150 minutes of interviews.
I know.
I don't think there's any other way to do it other than 30 minutes.
Big project. It's a lot to review.
Yep.
Should we break it into
Yeah.
2 nights then?
Well, why don't we do this? Let's see if if Doran Whittier still wants to proceed. If it's down to 4, then it's 2 hours. Okay? If it's 5, we can consider that, and we should have an idea by next Thursday, the 20th, because we're meeting on the 25th to interview the CM at risk, the 3. For 45 minutes apiece, we'll be able to discuss it at that time. We'll find out if they're
How many we have?
how many we have. Okay?
Yeah,
That makes
I
sense?
felt, I felt a little like when we did the public safety building, the half hour even was rushed for that project, you know, to try and let them get through everything they want to get through and have us have questions, you know.
Yeah, I think maybe for this, Joe, that since it is for the high school and such a large project, we should probably be at 45 minutes as well. And 2 nights.
Okay. That's fine.
So maybe can we do, what do we have?
All right, we have to, here's
Vote
the
on-
problem.
Yeah.
We have a firm date. Now if I go to my date sheet here.
Well, let's vote on this and then let's discuss how we get the 5 done.
All right. We already did. It was
Did we?
approved. Yep.
Okay.
It was
All right.
unanimous. All right.
So we have the firm date of 3:30.
Correct. By
Which is
April
third.
7th. By April 7th, we must indicate our final selection to the MSBA on the OPM.
What are we doing on 3/28? That's the interviews for,
325. If it's 328, that's a Sunday, and I don't think I'm doing that, Chip. I don't know.
oh, so 3:30 is a Tuesday?
330 is a Tuesday, 325 is a Thursday.
What about if we do Monday and Tuesday? The 29th and 30th.
What do people think?
I don't have my calendar.
Do it.
I'm
Say
okay
it
with it.
again.
That's fine with me.
It's okay.
Anybody object to doing it 329 and 330?
And then we can have half an hour presentation, 15-minute Q&A, and we'll do 2 on one night and 3 on the other.
Correct, or 2 and 2 if Dorn Whittier.
Yeah, or if we do 3 the first night and 2 the second, but
And then,
then 2 and 2, and then we just decide after the end of the second night.
because we're going to have to do it on the 30th, because after the 30th, I then have to engage in negotiations with the OPM. And for the first selector, so first group selected. And if that fails, I go to the next one. And I have to have that done by the 7th of April.
Right.
So the 29th makes sense to me because that gives me a week.
Done by the end of our discussion on the 30th.
Correct. Does anybody have a problem with that?
Nope.
No.
Bring a lot of alcohol or whatever for them? No.
I also just give Joe the permission to have a frank, just let Dorn Whittier know where they stand and what it means if they do move forward here, that they can then not also look at the architect.
Correct.
And I guess they could make the decision after they were either selected or not selected to go forward as the architect or not.
That's fine. Whatever they want to do, it's their
Yeah.
decision. Obviously, we've made our decision.
Yeah.
It's their decision from then on. All right. Is that all set for everybody?
Yep.
Hey, guys, I just have a question on that. Can we ask them if we do want to proceed with them, if they would act as the OPM or the architect, just so that we don't go through the trouble and them just to back out on us?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask them to make it, I'll ask to see what their intentions are. Okay?
Because
Perfect.
we
Thank you.
be too far down the right. If they were selected as if they get selected as the OPM and they accept it, then they can't go as the architect. So I think when Joe has a conversation with Don Walter, we'll know what he wants to do.
All right.
Hey,
So the next meeting for all of us is next Thursday, the 25th, when we will interview the CM at risk companies. Rich Commodore, right? Is that right?
Rich, Commodore, and Bond.
And Bond, and it's going to be in that order. I just selected it because that's the order that they came in numbers wise. Rich will be first, then Commodore, then Bond, and it'll be 45 minutes.
And then also be prepared to, then rank them and make a decision that night as well.
And Shane sent out the ranking sheets. I think I hope everybody got them. Okay.
mhm.
All right. Anything else in the high school? Before we go, there's one other quick item and we'll be done tonight. Anything else in the high school? Any other questions in the OPM? Any other questions on the selection process? I'm going to tell you, I think it went extremely well, everybody, and thank you so much for getting those scores in.
Yes, thank you.
It was not easy to do over, running through 10 different proposals and going through it. This was a lot of work and you all are commended for it.
Chip, nice work on your part, Chip. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. We now found out you can add.
Who said I did anything?
Oh, okay, all right, so, all right, so you, other people in the house did the adding, okay.
He becomes Rain Man when he's skiing. The slopes really tune him in.
Was that on the chairlift when you did the adding?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's what I thought. All right. One other quick thing. I got an email from Shane and I was gonna just automatically approve it today, but I wanted to bring this up. This had to do with some exterior consultant to do an inspection and provide a report regarding windows and the exterior, where there's doing a visual inspection with binoculars and then doing some thermal imaging. There's a baseline cost of $6,000 from the building envelope consultant BEC, which is that the same company that did the scanning of the roof?
No, BEA.
Okay, all right.
But Joe, I have a question on this. I don't think we need to prove this at all. We have a line budget of $21,500. I don't think this even needs to come in front of us.
He brought it up to me today. He asked me to get an approval and I said, well, what are you doing? I didn't even know what they were planning to do. So
Yeah,
he just wanted to get our stamp for approval.
My question is, why does, if we have the budget and it's a line item budget, why are we, I don't want to approve every single thing they decide to do in a line item budget. Hey, just point of reference.
Okay. I thought it would be important for everybody to know that this is out there and it's being done. Any questions for it? And I will approve it.
I move that we approve $6,000 for an envelope scan of the public safety building as presented by Left Field this evening.
Any questions? Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion. Chip,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Janine?
Yes.
Unanimous. Next meeting is next Thursday. Be ready for all your questions for the CM at risk. I started looking at it. It's pretty interesting stuff, I have to admit. All right, anybody got anything else?
May I just to interject? I just want to introduce myself. It's nice to see the Permanent Building Committee in action. I'm Theo Noel. I live at 8 Fernwood Road, and I'm running for the planning board. So I'm really just interested to see and connect with everyone who influences our built environment. And I had a nice conversation with Bob earlier this month, and really interested in all the good work y'all do. So, and as a child graduating from the high school and benefiting from all the schools, we appreciate the physical landscape and the physical resources that we
Welcome
have. So
aboard.
thank you very much. Well, I'm not there yet.
You're
So
not there yet.
April 27th is the election, and I'd love to talk to all of you at another point about.
Like the old saying says, half success in life is showing up. You did. Good for
Hey,
you.
there we go. All right. Well, it's nice to meet you. Thank you.
Hey, Theo.
Good
Good
night.
to see you.
Oh, hey, Janine.
All right, anybody else? How about a motion that's very important?
I tried. I move that we adjourn.
All in favor, go skiing with Chip. All right, take care, everybody.